SQL Loader. SQL Loader is one of the utility available in Oracle that loads the data. So basically, we will use the SQL Loader for the purpose that how we can load the data from various kind of files like text file or CSV files. We will understand, try to learn and try to understand what exactly the SQL Loader is, files used by the SQL Loader and using SQL Loader. SQL Loader loads data from external files into the tables. These files basically can be used one or more files. Several input records can be combined into one logical record. Similarly, input fields can be of fixed or variable length. Input data can be of many format, character, binary, packet, decimal, etc. Data can be loaded from different types of media such as disk, tape, or named files. Data can be loaded into several tables. Options are available to replace the data or even to append with the existing data. SQL functions can be applied on input data before the row stored. Column values can be auto-generated based on rules. For example, sequential key value can be generated. Data can be loaded directly into the table by passing the database buffer. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि जब हम SQL लोडर इस्तेमाल करते हैं तो डाटा लोड जो है वो बफर को बाईपास करके लोड किया जाता है और इसके लिए यूटिलिटीज़ अप्लाई की जाती हैं और बफर एडजस्टमेंट और कुछ दूसरी स्टोरेज एडजस्टमेंट भी होती हैं जो आगे जाके हम स्टडी करेंगे. SQL loader uses files, for example, loader control files that specifies the input format, output table and optional conditions. इसका मतलब यह है कि इस कंट्रोल फाइल के अंदर हम बताते हैं कि कहाँ से डाटा आ रहा है, कौन सी फाइल से आ रहा है और किस टेबल में जाएगा. That can be used to load only a part of the records. Input data files contains the data of the file, like for example CSV file. Parameter is the optional file that can be used defined with the command line parameters. That sometimes we have to give the outer parameters as well. Log file is normally used to record the execution of the SQL loader. Bad file means those records which are rejected, and discarded file means those records that did not satisfy the selection criteria. So that's basically, we have rejected kind of records that come up in separate file, and we have bad records that come up in the bad record file. So exactly how SQL loader works. So SQL loader is normally works on the basis of data that we normally apply in this form. So for example, we have SQL loader file. So this is SQL loader file. We have an input data file. For example, this is optional parameter file. Rejected record normally come up over here. Those records may have a format problem, data length, or some other not null or something kind of options normally come up. Discarded data means that we have some kind of wrong data or some kind of data which is normally not required. So once these are done, so database data files are normally managed with this one. Log files are created how our execution is going on. So this is how SQL loader works, and based on this one we will further explore that separately how these tasks are properly managed, and later on we will try to manage the experimentation on that particular basis. We will manage that how data is loaded by using the Oracle data utilities that are used for the data loading purposes. When you invoke SQL loader, you can specify parameters that establish session characteristics. Parameters can be entered in an order, optionally separated by commas. So these parameters are normally used. If you invoke SQL loader without specifying any parameter, SQL loader displays help screen that lists the available parameters. So we will manage the SQL loader example that on SQL point at the operating system command. We will use SQL LDR by giving user and password. We will give the control file and the log file where it will saved. and how we can do directly load. So from CTL, we will use the SQL loader, and this SQL loader load the data into the table, and it will produce the file in the form of log case file.